Yes. On this note, we are back again. ISTV is back again. One ISTV. It's an Continental Sports TV. It's all about the review show. I tell you, it is what it is. AFCON 2023 is gone, but we are here tonight to talk about the aftermath. Is there anywhere we got it wrong? And where do we move from here? We are here to talk about it. All right, people. You know what you got to do it for me now? Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's take it up from here. AFCON is gone. Congratulations to Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, the Ivorians. They beat me silly. 2-1 was the scoreline yesterday. But we move. Nigeria move. Kunle's here with me. You're getting ready. Let's talk football. Mark is also here with me. I tell you, it is what it is. Don't show your face. Am I shy? Why am I shy? What shall I shy? All right, welcoming everybody to the show. Let's do this. All right, Kunle, are you ready for me? It's all about this AFCON 2023 that went just now, yesterday. Kunle, you're alive. Oh, easy, man.
Good evening, Don, and good evening to everyone watching us all over the world. AFCON 2023 is gone. I'm happy about it because what a tedious 3 weeks it has been. But many expected Nigeria would win yesterday. But come on, we are coming up against the hosts. It was never going to be easy. But I'm not going to take anything away from Nigeria because I never expected them to go that far. I gave them the quarterfinals, and reaching the finals is big, you know. So I know there's a lot of past history, but you know this team is not good. So I would still say they tried, they did their best, and my hope is that we work on things ahead of, because next AFCON is coming up next year, so there's no time to relax.
Yes, you're welcome once again, Kunle. Let me welcome Mark. Straight up, Mark, you're welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to join you guys.
Yeah.
Up Granada.
Up Granada.
They didn't win. You only say up to those who won. It was shared spoil. So I don't know why you are you are saying up Granada. Anyway, let me talk about the just concluded African Nations Cup. Well, the Super Eagles exceed all our expectations for the most part, yes, because when they started the competition, they were in bad shape. We had goalkeeping issues. We didn't know how that would turn around. Everybody's head was scattered. They were here and there and not compact. And of course, we drew that first game against Equatorial Guinea. But from there, in a magical twist of events, they started winning. And of course, they had all that run to the final. So it's another silver medal, the 5th. We have 16 medals in all. So it was not like it was a woeful performance, but it can be better. And so for me, what I'm particular about is I want to see Nigeria at the World Cup, the expanded FIFA World Cup. 48 teams in all, 9 from Africa. It will be bad if Nigeria does not make it. So let us pick up the pieces, go back to the drawing board, and then we'll give it a shot next year in Morocco.
All right, right there. Kunle, I'm going to ask you this. There's a questions we need to talk about. What's your take about the Super Eagles? Where did we actually got it wrong? I mean, where do you think we found ourselves? We have to blame ourselves. There's this. I'm going to highlight this. Still coming back to the list of Africa 2023 awards. We have the best player, Ekong, our captain, reliable captain. The best goalie goes to the South African goalkeeper, Williams. And the best coach also is the Côte d'Ivoire Ivorian's coach. The best player is that Adingra. I think I was shouting about this guy during the watch along. That I know should be careful of this guy had I know on toast. So many chances. I mean, those 2 goals were created from the side. So the guy is phenomenal. And the top scorer goes to Equatorial Guinea player Usue, and the fifth Fair Play Award goes to the South Africa. Let me start with this first before I go straight into where we got it wrong. The best player, Ekong. Do you agree with that, Kunle?
I wouldn't disagree with that because part of why Nigeria, reached the final is because of defensive stability, and Trust Ekong was very key to that. He really caught me off guard because when he was being included in the 27-man list, I was like, what's Trust Ekong doing here? Because I felt like we had always been using Calvin Bassey and Semi Ajayi. Yeah, and I was like, Trust Ekong, but I mean, he really showed great leadership, and he was the highest scoring defender in the tournament. He scored 3 goals. That's 2 goals shy of top scorer Musue. So I mean, for me, it is well deserved. Well deserved. I mean, there are no arguments about it. The only downside is that Nigeria did not get to win the tournament, because most times the best player of the tournament would always rhyme with the team that wins. Yes, and in the case of that, the best player in the team that won for the Ivorians was Adingra, and they already gave him Young Player Award. So I think it was fair to give it to Trust Ekong.
All right. Right now, let's talk about, is it the squad where we got it wrong? The squad, the tactics, the NFF board. Let me start with you, Mark, on this. We got it wrong from somewhere. Is there any way you think we got it wrong from? I mean, talking about the Super Eagles in this AFCON, the concluded AFCON 2023. We are talking about the aftermath of this encounter. Where exactly? I just put these 3 into it. That squad. Is it the squad and the tactics by the manager or the NFF board? Is there any way you think we got it wrong from?
Well, I would say that it is this and more. These reasons and more. We cannot point it down to just one reason. It is a combination of factors that led to Nigeria actually not winning that Nations Cup. Now, for me, I would like to talk first about the squad. We didn't go to this competition with excellent midfielders. And midfield, all the departments of the game are important, but the midfield is where the battle was won at that final yesterday. Yeah. As we were saying in the watch along, Côte d'Ivoire played Fofana, Jean-Michel Seri, and they also played Franck Kessié. Now, those are excellent midfielders. And you remember I told you that Franck Kessié, even though people look down on him, he is actually a goal threat. He scores goals. He scored lots of goals when he was at AC Milan. And the few times he got on for Barcelona, he also did the same. And yesterday he scored. And he had scored before earlier in the competition. So but our midfielders were lacking. Yeah. The culprit was Iwobi. In that final, he was losing a lot of balls. Frank Onyeka at one point they had the most duels won, but as the game wore on, they lost steam. They couldn't sustain that pressure. And for talking about the tactics, Peseiro did not approach this game with the right mental attitude. What I meant by that is this: Nigeria came into this competition. We didn't know. No Nigerian would have honestly said that we'll make the final. Absolutely. Now, you have a great run. You got to the final. What do you have to lose? Nigeria has never been a defensive team. traditionally, and you can attest to this because I know you are old enough to know that we don't play defensive football. Yes, we are playing Cote d'Ivoire in their backyard, and we needed to be cautious so that they don't hit us. But because of the squad and the tactics, which is the combination now, he was not able to come out full force and take the game to them. So what they did was they sat back to soak the pressure, and against the run of play, they got a goal. And sadly, the same thing that took them to the final was what actually let them down: defensive solidity. Nigeria did not only considered, I think, one goal up to that final, 2 goals, a penalty, 2 goals, Equatorial Guinea and South Africa, and they were solid at the back. And we had an excellent God-given goalkeeper because he just came into the team, you know. So what have you to lose? This is the final lap, and you needed to give it all you've got. But what they did was sat back, and the more they sat back, the more Cote d'Ivoire grew into the game. They got confident, and of course, they got those 2 goals. The NFF, this is a perennial reason. The NFF will always be a problematic angle for the Super Eagles. They will not schedule 8 top grade matches. They will not pay the players on time. They will not book flights on time. There will be 1 or 2 people that will be accused for malappropriation of funds. So the NFF, I think, in this 21st century, we need to put in people who have played the game and who know what they are doing. Not old men who will be in their agbadas and sit in one office and be waiting for dollars, and they will siphon it into their private pockets. So on the whole, the result was not bad, but it could have been much better. The quality of play could have been better, and the final result could have even been better, so that we will now see ourselves as the new champions. And before I stop talking, I would like to talk about William Troost Ekong. That man is one of the reasons we got to the final, because he was not only solid in defense, he also put in 3 goals, as much as Ademola Lookman, who is a forward, you know. So from this position, he was able to shift in goals when Osimhen was only able to score 1 because his head was not in this tournament somehow, so he couldn't really stand. So for him, he continued that trend of the best player of the tournament not coming from the winning team. You remember 2013, it was Jonathan Petroipa, that Burkinabe player, that won it. Then Atsu, the late Christian Atsu, won it for Ghana. And so we've seen cases like that where the best player is not from the winning team. So kudos to him. We hope that now that the competition is over, they will not lose their head and be scattered. We want fresher legs. We want better strikers who can complement Osimhen and Ademola, and then we'll be on top again.
No, right. That's a very good one. Kunle, I want to turn over to you. What's your take on this? You know, as I've said, is there anywhere we got it wrong from? I mean, is it the squad, is it the tactics, or the NFF board? What is your take?
I think Mark has already kind of said everything, and it's all of the above. From the squad to the fact that the Super Eagles is one thing that I know is always light on midfielders. I think this thing has been there since, if I remember correctly, at least since Gernot Rohr. We hardly have midfielders. We will now go and pack defenders, we will pack forwards, and we will now be like, so it's always going to be that way if we don't have midfielders, right? Because midfield is where the balance between defense and attack comes from. That's why it's called midfield, middle of the field. So, and that is where all the control and everything. So, if you do not have good lanes in that department, the defense will suffer, and that's why you could see that the defense will be under pressure most times, and it will become difficult to, like, soak, because there will be those periods, like Mark said, against the run of play. They would score you, and that was what happened yesterday. So definitely the squad. And the tactics, I wouldn't say anything wrong with the tactics. Obviously, Pesero knew that we were light in midfield, right? So that is why we employed the tactics we did. And that's why I would have to give kudos that despite that, because with the kind of tactics we had, and the fact that we actually played against teams where even the likes of Equatorial Guinea, they had midfielders more than us, you understand? But the mere fact that we were actually able to get results over these teams even South Africa, Cameroon, all of that. I think it shows that we really outdid ourselves, to be honest, because we would wonder how could it work. But we got to the finals. That's why I feel we shouldn't get too much on ourselves, because we clearly pushed ourselves to the limit, and you know that was how far we could go. And yes, of course, you can't take up the NFF, because everything that is wrong with Nigerian football starts from the
Yeah,
NFF. So
yeah,
I don't need to start discussing all of that. I think Mark shed some light on that, and also, I mean, everything Nigerian football starts from the NFF. So if you want to see where is the source of the problem from, it has to start from the NFF, because there's no organization, there's no, the way they go about doing things, it's too political. There's just too much political involvement with the Super Eagles, and all of that. So definitely the NFF is part of it. And of course, Nigerians too are part of the problem, Nigerian fans. Because I don't know if you are aware what happened. Alex Iwobi, because I think the Nigerian fans were too entitled. Alex Iwobi had to go and delete all his Instagram pictures. Why?
yeah.
Because
I
they
heard
were
it.
yeah,
Why?
because they
Why?
were going into the comment
Why did you
section.
do that?
Why?
Because they were roasting him now. They were roasting him. And I find it funny how you are blaming him, because it seems like these fans do not understand. If they understood that we were lighting him, right, it means Iwobi was having to do extra. Then people seem to forget that these players hardly had a break. The Ivorians, the rested players, Ivory Coast rested like 4 players in that semi-final. Yes, they did. Of which I think Sergio Reo was one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Ivory Coast rested like 4 players. We have hardly rested players. We have players on the bench, yeah. But the truth is, if you brought in a Brighton Sai Samuel, if you brought in an Ahmed Musa, if you brought in a Terry Murphy and all these other players, would we really have gotten this far? Because the truth is, this is a cup competition. How many games are played from group stage to the final? I think 7 games, right?
Yeah.
7 games is too short for you to experiment. So once you already started with a formula that worked for you in the group stage,
Mm.
you obviously want to continue with it. It was clear that these players were fatigued.
Yeah.
And for me, I wouldn't blame Pesero, because, like we said, it's not like we really had quality. Okay. And I feel, some players that would have even helped us were absent. When you look at the Victor Boniface and Taiwo Awoniyi, if we had those two, there would have been a lot of dimension into our game, but they were absent. So it kind of left. And there was this issue with, I think they said, Pesero and Kelechi Iheanacho. So fans abusing Iwobi. I mean, if they even went after maybe somebody like Chukwueze now, for instance, who was in the because he started that final yesterday, and that final should have been his chance to, but he didn't show anything, and it wasn't a surprise that he was the first substitution. Why didn't they go after him? Or why did they go after Izedu Sanusi? He was rested. Yeah, okay, I think he had a slight injury, or he's against South Africa, but he started. Zedu Sanusi for me didn't really do much. He didn't go after him. It's now an Iwobi who for me who worked tirelessly, who had to go out of position and do multiple things at the same time. And you are now coming out to abusing that problem. People were even going after Olaino. I was shocked. Olaino. If you removed Olaino from that team, I don't think we are reaching the final. Okay, so Olaino had a poor game yesterday. But come on. He was fatigued. He was stretched. Even Osimhen. So I don't understand. These fans are just ridiculous. And I think it's part of the problem that we have as a country, that we just have these entitled fans who cannot see things logically. And they are just being sentimental, emotional, and before you know it, it now gets them to do things that they don't do. And that's very bad.
All right. Is welcome to the show. We've said a lot. I just want to
It's
have
good to
your
be on the show, man.
Yeah, I just want to have your own opinion. After the let's say aftermath of the competition, AFCON 2023. We are just highlighting some fact that we got it wrong from somewhere, and where do we pick it up from? I mean, what are we going to do ahead of us? And also, I highlighted this. Could it be the problem? Is it the squad, the depth, or the tactics, or the NFF board? You have something to say?
Well, me, I have a lot to say
Oh
because
yeah.
ever since
Oh
the
yeah.
AFCON, I've just been so calm. I didn't really want to get emotionally involved because I knew at the end of it all, it's not going to end well. I've had a lot of stake. I've had a lot of stake from a lot of my colleagues at work, at home, family, friends. They keep calling me that I'm not patriotic, but we've seen this before. We've seen this over and over again. What's it called? Experience will teach you that there are some things that would take you to succeed. There are some fundamentals you need. There are some things that you need to get you off in achieving some certain targets. And we all know that it plays out in our lives. Yes, I can understand Kunle's assertion. I respect all what he has said. But you need to look at things from a different angle as well. People will go for these players because right now the emotions are high. The everywhere is tensed. Everybody sorts to that competition as a sort of soccer in terms of looking at the landscape and everything that is going on in the country. I don't want to go into that. I'm not talking politics here, and I'll never talk politics. But people saw that as an opium of faith, opium of what's the word? Opium of a way of getting out of the issues that everyday issues that is bothering people. So football is a kind of sport that brought everybody together because we all know we play football. But now back to the Super Eagles, back to AFCON 2023. The first game, he decided to do it the way he wanted to do it. We found it difficult. He changed tactics from game 2. And after that game 2, he gave us results against, if I could remember, against Cote d'Ivoire. Penalty by Ekong. The third game in the group, which was against Guinea.
Yeah.
And also into the second round, Cameroon, Angola. South Africa was where the proof was
yes, that was
it was all there.
It was there.
You know,
on
like
South Africa game.
yeah.
Yes.
Like the teke many handwriting on the wall, like the king in the Bible saw. It was there. It was there for everybody to see. And in my analysis, I was invited for a sports show, towards the final. And I said it. And I was attacked. And I said it. See, if we go into that game with the same tactics that we have been using from game 2 up until semi-final, the Ivorians would roast us. The Ivorians would dominate us. Now, look at the Ivorian management team. He was a manager, a local manager. Look at what you did. A lot of people would say they had the fans behind them, home support and all that. That's nothing. You can go into a team, go into a ground, despite them having the advantage home support, and still dominate, beat the hell out of them, and go away. All I just needed from Peseiro, and if they were really, really, really doing their due diligence, they could have tweaked their tactics because the Ivorians would have prepared for all what they've been doing from game 2 up until game 6. And if he had tweaked that tactics, the Ivorians would have been shocked. And like I stated on the group, this is the weakest Ivorian team. With all due respect to them, they are world champions, AFCON 2023 champions.
I agree.
But this is
totally.
the weakest Ivorian team
And I said it on the group.
I have seen for the past 10 or 12 or 15 years that I've been watching AFCON. Because if you look at it, it was there for the taking. If we had gone thrown in the kitchen sink and them, they would have cracked. If we had gone all attacking. A typical example, and I'm going to back my assertion with facts here. A lot of people can say maybe I'm saying rubbish. Look at Hala and Osimhen. Who was more utilized yesterday?
Osimhen.
It was the Ivorian striker. It wasn't Osimhen. We didn't play to the strength of Osimhen. We didn't.
Yes,
but the Ivorians played to the strength of Sebastian Haller. And that gave him the goal. We were so pragmatic. We were so backward. We were so playing so conservative. And I felt, despite us being conservative and despite the Ivorians dominating, we got the first goal. I thought, okay, this is where we needed to kill it. If we had gone all out and attacked them, at that time, they were there for the taking. And one thing, that's why I said they didn't have a psychologist in this team. Maybe if they had employed me, I would have done a bit of psychology, a psychological work in there. What if you look at what the Ivorians had always been using? look at them in the second round, quarterfinal, semi-final. They were always going behind. And when they go behind, that is when their tails are up. That is when they get this energy from nowhere and they go for it. And that was where I thought we could have nicked them yesterday, because at that time, they were desperate. So if we had gone toe-to-toe, attacked from the start, that could have been it. You saw the plan they came in with the second half. Even that second half, they could have scored early enough. Yes. But the thing is, I know I'm a Nigerian. I can say all this over and over again. The all fingers point to Pesero, because you can't tell me as a manager you can't bring out the best. We had the best squad in this. After Morocco, after Senegal, I think Nigeria boasts of the best squad in this competition, if I'm not mistaken. So we had everything to win that game. We had everything to win our fourth AFCON. But it is what it is. Credit needs to be given to the champions, which is Côte d'Ivoire. But on the part of abusing players, on the part of we chanting players, I'm not in support of it. I know football emotions are high. That is not supported in any way. Football is a game someone would have to win. But Côte d'Ivoire have won. Let us be respectful and let us be humble in defeat, because we've always been bragging since day one. Now we've eaten the L. Let's take it in peace and congratulate Côte d'Ivoire. That's my take.
All right, thank you so much because of our time. Mark, let me quickly ask you this question. Somebody said this. Mark said it, Margaret said we were more focused on defending than attack, and it backfired. The way forward is to let Pesero go, get a new coach, and start building for the next World Cup. We shouldn't wait till it's qualifier. Do you agree with this, Mark?
Yes, totally. I agree with it. I don't think that we need Pesero any longer. We need him to be hanging around. It is not like he's the worst Super Eagles coach we've ever had, especially a foreign one. But it's just plain saying it that he's not good enough for the job. He's not good enough for the level of expectation, the quality we want for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So I don't know who will take over if they let him go, but I don't think it is a bad idea to let him go. So we need a coach that will infuse fresher legs into this team. We have players all over Europe. For God's sake, a country of over 200 million people should not find it difficult to bring out 27 good players in all the different positions. We have Gift Orban, who is doing well for Lyon. We have Samuel Omoro Dion, who is doing well for Alaves, and he's an Atletico Madrid player, and he's scoring. He puts up decent performances. We have players all over Europe like that. Even at home here, there are 2 or 3 players in the Nigerian, the MPFL, if that's what it's still called. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have players in our local league who we can also bring in to encourage, so that when the other ones see that you can actually get into the Super Eagles squad on your merit, then they'll want to do better, So we want a coach that can infuse that, and we want a coach that is tactically brilliant, so that when things are not working or when you are short of legs, you can tweak the formation and play to the strength of whoever is the stronger players in the squad, so that you can conquer the foe in front of you. So that's the kind of coach we need right now, and I don't think Pesero fits the bill presently.
Wow. Kunle, do you agree or disagree that concerning the question Margaret just raised there, she said Pesero should leave?
For me personally, I think Pesero should stay, because we all know that no one gave, like we said, no one actually gave the man and even the squad a chance, right? Now, for them to have reached the AFCON final, it means they overachieved. So if they've overachieved, it only makes sense that, okay, let's go back to the drawing board and see what is wrong here. Because when you come and say you sack, who is that person that you want to? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. So the question there is, who is the person that you want to bring in? It's very difficult. It's very expensive to hire managers, and
don't forget that the NFF has issues with what's it called? Paying salaries when due. I mean, Pesero is still being owed backlog of salaries. So is that what you want to be doing for the next coach? Let's consider these things. Because whoever is going to be the next Super Eagles coach must be ready to take rubbish. But Pesero has taken a lot of rubbish and he's gotten us this far. So for me, let him continue and let's hope for the best. That's what I would say.
Yes. Okay. Because of our time, his last word. Do we, according to what Margaret just said here, she said Pesero should go. What's your own opinion with this?
Well, for me, I'm not a believer of hire and fire. I believe in giving people the time, because even in our everyday life, in our normal day life, we all learn. Nobody is a bundle of knowledge. This is new to him because this is his first AFCON that he will be taking Nigeria to, and I'm sure he would have learned one or two things. If you look back to the Dutch Darian back then in Clemens Westerhof, I don't know if Mark can correct me, because I know in the 90s I was still young. Senegal 92, was it Clemens Westerhof that took us there?
Yeah, you're on point.
It was Westerhof that took us there, yes. So I don't know, maybe if someone can help me check that. We came third in that competition. I think we lost to the Ivorians. Is it the Ivorians or the Ghanaians? We lost to the Ghanaians in the semi-final, and we got to the third place where we won Cameroon 2-1. A fantastic goal by Rashidi Yekini from a very difficult angle. All these were highlights that I watched. I didn't watch them live, but because we had to give Clemens Westerhof another opportunity to have a go for the next 2 years, which was Tunisia 94, and that was where the everything changed for him. And you saw how we went into that competition and we won. So I'm not the type that believes in hire and fire. I feel we should give Pesero another opportunity, and please, he should stay off Jose Mourinho, because I'm so sure Jose Mourinho was the one who advised him in this. I don't have my facts though, but I'm just saying that on a lighter note. So he can go again in the next. I think the next AFCON is this year or next year.
Next year.
Morocco. So he can go again. I know. Luckily, there will be activities. The World Cup qualifiers is coming up next in March or in April or June. So that gives opportunity for him to keep, working with the Nigerian players. But let's just give him another time. There's no need to panic, no need to rush. Hopefully, when he gets there, he would have learned a lot from this competition. So that's my take.
All right, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on this one. This is how far we can go. Kunle, thank you so much. Really appreciate, man. Appreciate.
Thanks, Don. Always a pleasure.
All right, Mark, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. And Heat, we are happy to see you again. Try to make it more time.
He's back. He's back.
Don't know what I went through. Don't know what I went through. I had to go through fire. So
really?
I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah. Okay. I had some professional certifications that I needed to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. I understand that.
It was really, So now I'm fully back. I'm back.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. One love, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, viewers. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. This is how far we can go tonight. It is what it is. Please subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time, anywhere you're watching from. This is One Highest TV. On the same time, we'll be back on Friday for Premier League. It's back again. All right. On that note, I want to say thank you so much. Bye for now.